What is up, everybody out there? Artist of Strong Style here to show you my second version of the nekroz deck. This deck is fun to play. I don't see a lot of players playing this, but I say it's very good going against the extra deck. What are most players playing right now? They are playing from the extra deck. Nekroz have a lot of effects that go against, the extra deck. Because a lot of players right now, they would just play from the extra deck. Most likely they link, summon a lot. They link, they synchro, they exceed. I don't see them doing fusions a lot, but of course, fusions, that's all from the extra deck. A lot of players, they would play from their deck, but it's just going from one monster going into a link or whatsoever. So, this deck, pretty fun. And they have different ways of ritual summoning. Not just the simple, chaos form for Advanced Arch Ritual to throw away Blue Eyes White Dragon into the graveyard and then Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Everyone knows that particular ritual, just that simple one. But this one has a different kind of ritual. And it is fun to do. And there are different kind of cards I put in here. And it's, a bit different than my first version. If you've seen the first version, feel free to check it out also if you want to. But this version, similar, and it has other cards I put in. So, further ado, here we go. Again, this is a fun deck. No of those dogmatic cards, no Shadows, whatever. No Ash Blossom, no nothing, because that's all competitive. Me, I don't play competitive. If I was given those, given $1 million and you can play that, and for I don't know, just say if you were given those cards and pretty much they are so expensive, no, I wouldn't accept it. My mistake, yes. If a simple question like that was given to me, I would not do it. I would not accept it because that's not the card player I am. So, nekroz is a ritual deck. So, here we go. You're going to go nekroz Bryanok. Nekroz Bryanok is, you can ritual summon this card by, of course, you need a ritual spell card, as all rituals do. Now, its other effect. You can dish this card out from your, you can discard this card from your hand to the graveyard. And you can search for a nekroz monster. That's what it does. Now, you cannot use a Bryanok to a Bryanok. So, simple, you say you're going to ritual summon, throw away this to summon out a Bryanok. No, can't do it. Now, when it is on the field, once per turn, you can target 2 monsters from the extra deck. They go back. So it's a way of pretty much, you're going to send those monsters right back. So again, those are plays to do from the extra deck. And it's once per turn. So hopefully Bryanok doesn't go away or get destroyed. But as soon as something out, send away 2. So if you see your player, your opponent playing so many links, or they have so many they're playing from the extra deck, so Bryanok does. So rather you're gonna discard it, search for a monster, or you're gonna have it out once per turn, target 2. Nekroz Bryanok. Then you got the Nekroz Unicorn. Nekroz Unicorn. It's a level 4, 23 attacker, not bad. Here's what it does. You can rather discard this card to search for a nekroz spell card. Ritual. Now, when it is summoned on the field, only on your turn, all monsters from the extra deck, their effects are negated. So again, you're playing against the extra deck. So Unicorn negates all effects from the extra deck. Bryanok, same thing, except you're sending away cards. So you're playing against the extra deck. So, if you have it on the field, effects of all monsters, negate them. Or pretty much, discard it, search for a spell card. So, same thing as Bryanok. Bryanok, send away, search for a monster. Unicorn, send it away, search for a spell card. You're going to want to play Colossus. That's another one you're going to want to play in the deck. That's like your main staple for a Nekroz deck. You can use 3. I only use 2. 2, I think, is all you need. You can discard this card. Search for a magic card. Oh, yeah, a Nekroz. So throw away. Search for one. Most people use 1. I use 2. A lot of people run 2 also. Trishula. Trishula is like the boss monster of all the Nekroz. Because, okay, it's a level 9. If you're going to ritual summon this, you cannot use 1 monster of what you're going to make. You have to use at least 2 or more monsters to make a level 9. So it can't be like, you're going to Trishula to another Trishula. Nah, it has to be by other monsters besides just 1 level 9 monster. But there are ways to do this also. Now, when Trishula is on the field and done successfully, it banishes 3 cards. Exactly 3. This is what it does. You banish 1 card from your opponent's field, 1 card from their hand, 1 card in their graveyard. You're going to banish them. Here's the thing about Trishula. If your opponent does not have a card on the field, in their hand, or in the graveyard, Trishula does not work. It must have exactly 3 targets. Here's the thing about Trishula. It banishes, so there is no target effect. Just so you know. Now, that's when Trishula is on the field. Now, anytime a Nekroz monster you have on the field, and it would be targeted, you can throw away Trishula from your hand to the graveyard and negate it. So yeah, and it's a quick effect. You can discard it, negate the activation. That's Trishula. And then the one I use is the Valkyries. Valkyries is a level 8. It's the same thing as Trishula. You cannot use like 1 level 8 monster to summon this out. That's not the real way I would use Valkyries. I would use Valkyries in the second effect of them, which is anytime your opponent would attack you and you have a Nekroz monster on the field, you can discard Valkyries from your hand to the graveyard. Then remove from play 1 card that is called Nekroz. Negate the attack in the battle phase. That's what it does. So Valkyries is like your savior. But 1, I think, is all you need. That's for the Nekroz monsters. Now for your helpers. Of course, any ritual deck, you're going to want to use the Manjus. Once summoned out, search for a ritual monster or ritual spell card from your deck. Add it to your hand. Now, what helps you is using incantations, similar to the Manju. Now, Manju is normal summon. Incantations are special summoned. To play an incantation candle, you must reveal a ritual spell card from your hand. Reveal it. You can special summon candle. Then, what the candle does is special summons a different incantation monster from your deck to the field. Now, if candle were to be special summoned from a different monster to the deck to the field, candle searches for a spell card. So a bit more faster and a bit more consistent. Because then you got the Talismandra. To special summon this, you must reveal a ritual monster. Special summon it. Now, when it is special summoned by a different incantation sent to the field, you search for a ritual monster card. Then you got the Bookstone and the Pensaplume. Now, what they do, let's put them right here so you can see. The incantation Bookstone. You must reveal a ritual magic card, special summon him. One special summon by a different incantation and is sent to the field, you search for a ritual spell card that is in the graveyard, add it to your hand. The Pensaplume. Reveal a monster, ritual monster, special summon to the field. When it is special summoned by a different incantation sent to the field, you search for a ritual monster that was in the graveyard. So, Bookstone, Pencil Plume help you get your ritual monster or magic cards from your graveyard. The Incantation Candle and the Talismania help you get your ritual magic or monster from your deck. So, from your hand, from the graveyard. And pretty much, when you have pretty much no cards on the field, I use the battle faders. Because most of the time, if you have no way of bringing out a nekroz, or you just lost your talismans, whatever, manjus, run the battle faders. When your opponent declares an attack, play this card from your hand to the field. Stops the end, pretty much stops the attack. End phase. So yeah, pretty much when an opponent declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand, then end the battle phase. When this is gone, it does not go to the graveyard, it gets banished. So battle faders is pretty much like your other savior. But it's only when you're being attacked directly. Because you're going to need them at some point. So those are monsters. Let's go to magics. Preparation of rites you're going to want to run. You add one level 7 or lower monster from your deck to your hand, a ritual. Then you search for a ritual magic card from your graveyard, add it to your hand. In this deck, Colossus, Bryanok, and Unicorn are your searchers. Unicorn is a 4, Bryanok's a 6, Colossus is a 3. You cannot search for Valkyries or Trishula. I wish you could, but you cannot. So yeah, even if you don't have anything, remember, you can discard them. Discard for a magic, discard for a monster, discard for a magic. Unless you have a way already, you can just play anyone. And then just, yeah, search for one that's in your graveyard. If you don't have one, okay, so what? At least just get your monster. Now, okay, we'll go with the ritual spells. Okay, most people only use 2, but I run 3 Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope is I say it's the best ritual card for the nekroz. What you can do, you can, for a material, you can send away 1 card from your extra deck, send it to the field. And whatever monster in your hand or the field to play one of your nekroz. Now here's the thing. Remember, it cannot be a level 9 and then bring out a Trishula. Nah. But I say it's much more better because you're playing from your extra deck. You're not summoning them. You're sending them to the graveyard. Now there are some in here that I put in here that people use, except I use them too, is some of the extra decks, they have effects, which I'm going to show you in a bit. Now here's the thing. When you have no monsters, you can remove from play the Kaleidoscope and remove from play 1 nekroz monster, search for a ritual spell card. So Kaleidoscope, I say, is the best one. It can only play 1, so it's not, you can play like both at the same time. Then you got the Nekroz Cycle. Now what's cool about the Nekroz Cycle is, of course, yeah, ritual summon in a normal kind of way of what we know, plus the second effect, what you can do out of a synchro. You can pretty much send away like a ritual, and you can also ritual summon from your graveyard. So if you were to do like a 4, and you have a unicorn in your graveyard, bring it right back. what the cycle does. So that's what's cool about cycle. It can most likely, yeah, you can ritual summon this and bring one from the graveyard. Cool thing. So rather you're gonna do a regular ritual summon, or you can ritual summon from your graveyard. Bring one from your graveyard. And then the last one is the Nekroz Mirror. Now these are the Nekroz rituals. There's one more ritual I put in here. Nekroz Mirror. Nekroz Mirror is like the weakest one out of all, but of course, yeah, Nekroz, you're gonna have to run the ritual spell cards. This card can be used to ritual summon any Nekroz monster, of course. Tribute monsters from your hand or field, and banish a Nekroz monster from your hand whose level is exactly. Now, of course, yeah, even though it says exactly, still you have to play the requirement of whatever Nekroz you're going to play. And pretty much, yeah. So it might be a weak kind of a way, because you're going to have to possibly remove, banish. And just, yeah, I would only use one. But I think Kaleidoscope is the best one, because you're going to use requirements from your extra deck, if you can. And just like the cycle and the and the cycle and the mirror have the same effect of the Kaleidoscope. No monsters, you can banish your ritual away and a monster away to search for one. Now, of course, yeah, people use 2, but the reason why I run 3 is because I intend to just do this a lot when I played against others, like my friends. I just kept on doing Kaleidoscope a lot. So I like Kaleidoscope because I intend to use it a lot. And then we got Incantation Inception. Now, what Incantation Inception does, if you're going to use this to ritual summon, okay. Like all the, let's say, of course, let me get you. Trishula. Trishula says that particularly you need a 9, right? No, incantation is substitutes. So if you had like Talismandra and Candle, what you can do is, even though if it's a level 10, it's substitutes. So even if it was 10, you could play Trishula, and that makes it 9. To do incantation, you must at least one of the tributed that you're going to do has to be an incantation. When it's in the graveyard, what you could do is, when it comes to your turn, once per turn, you can send away one incantation monster and add Incantation Inception from your graveyard back to your hand. It is searchable if you want from Manju or the Candle, because it is a ritual spell card. It's a little helper. And yeah, it's a substitute. So even if it's a level like 10, like I just showed you, and you still want to do Trishula, you can, because it's a substitute. Now, of course, Harpy's Feather Duster. Destroy all magic and traps your opponent controls. Of course, yeah. Most people won't do this, but I do, because I like to play the backfield and destroy the backfield. Cosmic Cyclone, quick effect. Pay 1,000 life points. Choose a magic or trap that your opponent has on the field. Banish it. The only little minus is you got to pay 1,000 life points. And then Raigeki, Dark Hole. Your of course, yeah, your cards you want to destroy. Cards on the field. And then what I also put in the deck is Pot of Avarice. You select 5 monsters from your graveyard, put them to the deck, shuffle, draw 2 cards. So it's like pretty much you need your Nekroz monsters back, you need your Manju, Candles, whatever. Bring them right back, draw 2 cards. And as for traps, again, people don't play this, but I like to play this. The Stormy Mirror Force and the Quickie Mirror Force. Stormy Mirror Force, whenever an attack is to you, whenever your opponent declares an attack, Stormy Mirror Force, activate. All monsters go back to the deck. Quick Immune Force. Anytime an opponent declares an attack, all monsters get put face down. Now the sucky thing about Quick Immune Force, Link monsters do not go face down. And Quick Immune Force do not target. So Link, Synchro, whatever, okay, they can be put face down. But Links cannot. That's the sucky thing about the Links. Cannot put them face down. Now here's what I mean by, I'm going to show you right now why Kaleidoscope, and then I'll give you an example right here. Let me get Unicorn. If you're going to play Kaleidoscope and you want to summon out Unicorn, okay, and if you want to send one from your extra deck, well then the best thing to do is rather you're going to go any entity nest. I think that's the way you say it. Nest, yeah. So you're going to throw one from your graveyard, send it to the graveyard, and special summon because that's Kaleidoscope. You can use from your extra deck, and only one of them. But here's the thing. When the entity Entis is thrown into the graveyard, it lets you pop a card on the field. Target one card on the field, destroy it. So that's like a +2. You're going to send away to the graveyard. Target a card on the field, destroy it. Then the +2 would be you bring out your Unicorn. So yeah, some of the cards from your extra deck have effects even if you're throwing them into the graveyard. So think of it that way. So yeah, Kaleidoscope, throw away Etnis, Unicorn, Etnis, destroy a card on the field. Pretty interesting. Next one, we go to Herald. Similar, except when it's thrown into the graveyard, you search for a ritual monster or magic card. So just, yeah, even if you're throwing them from your extra deck to the graveyard because of Kaleidoscope, they're going to get effects, even though if you're throwing them into the graveyard. So the Herald and the Entis, those are your level 4s. Now pretty much it doesn't matter of how many. Pretty much you want to have monsters of a level of what you're going to do. So you go your Kaleidoscope, and you're going to have at least a couple level 5s. So I use Librarians and Catastrophe. Because yeah, sometimes Kaleidoscope, you want to throw away a level 5 and you have a level 4 to do Trishula. You can do that. So a couple level 5s I put in there. Now level 6. A regular Bryanok, Rockstar, Burning Abyss. And then, here's a new one. Fossil Warrior Skull Knight. Now, this special effect of what Fossil Skull Knight does. You can send this away to the graveyard. Okay, send to the graveyard. So it can be done for pretty much just, yeah, if you're going to throw away and you have a level 3, maybe your Colossus. Okay, that's 9. And then Bryanok, most likely you're going to do. But here's the thing. When the Fossil Warrior Skull Knight's in the graveyard, you can banish this, destroy one monster on the field. It can be done once per turn. So that's another effect if you throw it to the graveyard. Not when it's just in the graveyard. You can banish it, destroy one monster on the field. Little cool effects of what they do. Now for Fossil Warrior Skull Knight, I haven't seen anybody play that card. But it has good effects to it. It has a good effect to it. Yeah. Throw away to play your Bryanok, or you can play whatever you can think of that you can make, and just, yeah, banish it, destroy a monster. So those are my level 6s. I don't run a level 7, but I do run a level 8, which is the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Has no effect, but at least it's one where you can, that's most likely for your Valkyries So I only run it just in case you need to, or what you can do is when it says kaleidoscope, you can make as many as you can. So even if you have the chance, okay, level 8s, if you could play a unicorn and a unicorn, there you go. 4, 4, 8. So sometimes you might be lucky and be able to do that. And then just a shooting star dragon. Okay, it's a 10. Now make as many as you can when you have kaleidoscope, right? So level 10, Bryonock, Unicorn, if you have them both out and you can do it. 6, 4, 10. Now you can use as whatever fusions, synchro, monsters, whichever you're choosing, but that's my option. And then yes, running it with the Skull Knights, Herald, and Etnis. Those have effects even if you're throwing them to the graveyard. So yeah, send away, destroy a card on the field, send away, search for one of your choosing, rather ritual monster or ritual spell. Banish from your graveyard, destroy a monster on the field. So pretty cool, huh? What they can do. So, I'll give you a little tips right here of how to do it. Okay, so let's just say first you want to go Trishula. It's a level 9. Okay. You have your Bookstone. So yeah, if you want to go effect of Kaleidoscope already, here's what you can do. Let's just say this is just your 3 cards right here. Now, if you want to go with Trishula using Kaleidoscope, first off, what you might want to do is just reveal, special summon, search for, candle, search for another card you want to get. Okay, cycle. Now think of it this way: if Unicorn was in your graveyard, you can go Kaleidoscope, throw away. Now, if you want to throw away one from your graveyard, from your extra deck, that's 5. You can send away your Etnis, and that makes it 9. Summon out. Let me put it right here so you can see a bit more better. Trishula, remember, that was 9. You can do it once. At least throw away 1 if you want to. And destroy, or if you want to search, you can do that as well. Now, okay, cycle. Remember, it can bring one from the graveyard. You want to go cycle? Okay, throw away. Bring it out. Kaleidoscope is pretty much the most fun one to do because that's playing from your extra deck. You aren't summoning these, you are sending them. So yeah, anytime one would be attacked from your hand, discard, banish away a whichever Nekroz card negates in the battle phase. Anytime one would be and a card effect would activate on a Nekroz, no, throw away if you wish to, negate, and your Nekroz stays alive. In your hand, throw away, search for whatever, Nekroz ritual. When summoned out, 2 once per turn, 2 cards from the extra deck, send them right back. Even if you have Manju, okay. If you have a Unicorn in your hand, cycle, unicorn, or if you want it out still and you want to go into maybe just, yeah, Herald. Okay, Herald, you're going to search and you go into unicorn. Search for a ritual. So if you want your Bryanok, you can go for Bryanok. You want to have a monster, rather you can play, or it's going to help you negate. Pre-preparation of rights. You can search for one. If you have one in your graveyard, very well, get that back. And then just, yeah, you're only using Kaleidoscope to send away from your deck, from your extra deck. Now, you don't have to exactly use mine the way mine is. You select your own. But using the Etnis and the Herald for level 4s, and then the Skull Knight for a level 6, it doesn't have to be like a 6 and then you're going to go into a Bryanok. You can go just, yeah, Etnis. You want to, okay, if you wish to bring out Valkyries, Kaleidoscope, send away your Manju, send away your Etnis. Etnis, destroy a card on the field, special summon Nekroz Valkyries. And then if you were to use the Skull Knight and you wanted to bring one out, okay, so yeah, Kaleidoscope I'm just showing because that's like the easiest and most fun one to do. So yeah, Bryanok, Kaleidoscope. Now get the Fossil Warrior. Summon out Bryanok. Bryanok, select 2 cards. And if you still have a monster, banish, destroy. You still have Bryanok. Or send it away. Search for a monster. So that's how fun a Nekroz deck can be. And I say it's, so yeah, this is way different than my first version. More fun. And it's pretty good to go against the extra deck. So that was the second version of my Nekroz deck. So that's the Nekroz deck, second version. Hope you all enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with my other friends. We play more card games as well, different card games, or there are times when my friends would like to do their deck profiles. So anytime it's not me, feel free to check out their deck profiles when they do theirs. We'll be doing a couple of videos also of us dueling against each other or other card games. Like I just said, it's not just always Yu-Gi-Oh! We try different card games to show you all, to see if you like them or not. We've been doing a couple of Dungeons and Dragons. Feel free to check those out if you're into it. Maybe you're not, but you know, it's your own opinion what you decide to watch or if you don't want to watch. But everyone has their own opinion. So that's for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. Speak to y'all later. Peace.